Bandwidth for this podcast is brought to you by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
Welcome back to MacBreak Studio. I'm Mark. I'm here with Steve. We're talking Final Cut Pro 10 and something about the range tool. Is that right?
Yeah, I thought we'd do a dedicated MacBreak on different uses of the range tool because it's a very versatile tool. And the legacy Final Cut Pro, it essentially had one use. Okay, you could select a bunch of clips with it.
Yeah.
Not so in Final Cut 10, you could do all kinds of things with it, from speed changes to effects to audio keyframing. It's pretty awesome.
All right,
it's very versatile. Okay, so here in the timeline, I'm going to talk about Editorial first before we get into effects. The range tool, of course, is found in the toolbar, or the tool palette, so you need the range selection, and R's keyboard shortcut to call it up. If you don't like using a keyboard shortcut or selecting it from a menu, you could use the selection arrow and temporarily switch to the range tool by pressing R on your keyboard.
And just holding it down.
Right, and then you could make a selection, right? And then release the mouse, and then your key, and then you're back to the selection arrow.
Select tool. Oh, I like that. I like that. Rather than tapping R and tapping A to go back and forth, you can just hold down the R key.
So let's try this again. So I'm going to go R, drag, and I'm going to release my mouse first, and then the key, and then I'm back to the selection arrow.
Nice.
I think that's kind of handy. So you don't have to switch to the range tool every single time.
All these little things make a big difference.
All right. Yeah, so editorially, let's look at the first use of the range tool. So I'm going to press R, and let's say we wanted to pull a section of this timeline on. We want to remove some content here. The nice thing about the range tool is you could just drag through a clip, and you can drag right through many clips. You don't have to just select an entire clip, but you can select a range of frames across many clips with the range tool.
And you're seeing the exact frame that you're dragging to in the viewer.
That's correct. So I can move the range selection tool to here. Let's say I wanted to remove that section, delete and pull that section out, or I can do Shift Delete and leave a gap.
Yes.
Or I could do a 3-point edit. Notice a range is really nothing more than 2 points of a 3-point edit.
Because you've got your in and out established in the timeline.
In and out established in the timeline. So I can just go up here, and this clip already has an in and out point. I don't know what the duration is on this. So if I hit Control D, that's 7:05. And if I select this range and I hit Control D, that's 2:03. So I definitely have more content in the clip that's selected than I.
There's more than enough.
More than enough. So all I really need to do is select it, and just if I'm in case to do it a connect edit, just press Q, and it uses the range as as 2 points in my 3-point edit.
Fantastic.
Okay. Again, a little thing.
You could have done an overwrite if you wanted to there, and it would overwrite based on that same range.
Right. So I could do that, and then I select it. I just press D and do an override edit.
Great.
Pretty handy.
Very nice.
Okay, let's look at another use of the range tool. Another thing that a lot of us use the range tool for is to duck the audio. We want to be able to, someone's speaking, we got some music, and we want to duck down under someone speaking. As you can see here, I've got some music, and then I have Mitch coming in, and these two items are going to conflict with each other. So if I play this.
Seeing things from the sky takes a whole different perspective.
Yeah, you want the music to get quieter so you can hear him talk.
Right, so that's another great use of the range tool. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to put my range tool right here, just a little bit before he starts speaking. And I'm just going to drag across and just kind of range a little bit before and a little bit after he starts speaking.
Okay.
Right? And with my mouse inside the range, I'll have my pointer turns into kind of a up-down facing arrow.
Yeah, it's selecting the rubber band, basically.
The rubber band, basically.
Uh-huh.
What's really great about this, and it's so fast compared to previous versions of Final Cut and other editing systems, in that when I want to adjust this, I want to bring this down, it automatically adds 4 keyframes, 2 at the head and 2 at the tail.
Yes. So you don't have to worry about going and manually adding those. It actually basically eases in and eases out of that audio change.
Yeah, you can just pick your audio. And again, I love the fact the waveform reacts to it. But now I have the audio ducked where I want it.
Seeing things from the sky takes a whole different perspective than when you're on the ground. And that's what's so unique and really so spiritual about flying.
Obviously, this
take that audio out of that.
Just kind of wrecked it for me, but yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
See,
beautiful.
It's much better.
Beautiful.
Okay, so that's just another use of the range selection tool I find handy. But a lot of people don't know that you can use the range selection tool to do effects, like speed effects and actual filters.
Filters.
Yes, exactly.
Effects.
Effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom into this clip, and I got this helicopter that we shot in Phoenix on this mountain, and I want to apply a filter. There's effect. I'm going to switch back to the selection arrow for now to select the clip.
The whole clip.
We got
Okay.
this, yeah. And I'm going to go into the effects browser, and I'm going to use a search field. I'm going to type in heat. Okay, this is I kind of like this look. It kind of creates a radiating heat look to it.
Yeah, little ripples of heat waves.
Yeah, heat waves. It's kind of a nice, and especially I like this because this shot will follow the sunset shot,
Yes.
so it'll be nice. So
Adds
it'll
in that hue.
very warm. So I'm just going to drop that on there. I could have double clicked. So I have this nice effect here. Now I could affect this directly in the inspector. Change the parameters, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do it right on the clip itself by right-clicking and choose Show Video Animation.
Okay.
As soon as I do that, I will see that effect right here at the top. It says heat amount.
amount,
Right.
okay.
And you'll notice a little button here. If I click on this, it'll expand. And you'll notice I can play with the amount of that heat effect just using this rubber band right here. See?
Just like audio.
Just like audio.
Okay.
Exactly. So I can add a lot of heat effect or a little. I think the effect is a little bit heavy-handed at first.
Yeah.
So I like to bring it down around 40 or so, something like that.
Okay.
But let's say I wanted to create an effect where the heat wave gets increased. The effect itself is more radiating heat waves when the helicopter is passing the sun.
So you want this heat amount to change over time, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want it to
Okay.
do. So about right here, I want the heat amount to increase.
Okay.
This is where the range tool comes in. So I'm going to select the range tool. And right about here, that's where I want to start. I'm just going to drag out a range right through there as a helicopter is passing through.
Okay.
Right? So the last thing is, I just want to put my pointer between, anywhere inside the range, kind of like what we did on audio. And I'm going to click and drag.
It does the exact same thing like with audio.
Exact same thing with audio.
That is cool, because I would have gone in and manually added all those keyframes, like clicked on the line to set the
you
keyframes.
don't need to. And this effect,
Nice.
so now I have this great effect where I'm at 40%, and then the effect while the helicopter is crossing the sun, it really increases ramps up.
I see.
So
Yeah.
again, it's a nice little feature that you can use a range tool for, and it just makes it nice.
So you can make selections within audio or effects or across multiple clips in the timeline. So many different ways you can use that tool.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
There's one last use of the range tool that I'm going to actually zoom back in here, and that is for affecting speed. And I'm going to switch back to the selection arrow, by pressing A, selecting the clip. And by the way, if you hit Control V, you can actually remove an effect by selecting it right here and just pressing delete. You don't have to go to the inspector.
To delete it. Nice. That's nice.
Yeah. Or you can disable it too.
Yeah, just hitting the little blue button there.
So the last thing we'll look at is a speed change effect. Let's say I wanted to affect this clip and have it come fast and then slow down over the sun here. I could use the range tool for that as well. Let's say I want to, so if I'm going to go ahead and get the range tool, and I'm just going to drag through here. This is where I want my speed change. Actually, let me do it a little bit different. Let me select the clip and hit Control Command R, which will actually bring up the retiming editor. This is where you can see what's about to happen.
What's happening, okay.
So, again, getting the range tool, and I'm just going to drag right through here, right like that, right through there. Now, let's say I want the clip to be at 100%, but as soon as it gets to here, this section in here, I want it to go faster, speed up.
Okay.
So I've defined the area which the speed effect will take place. In other words, it's going to be a variable speed effect.
Yes.
And this range is going to determine the speed change. So with the range selected, I'll go up to the retime menu, and I'll just choose fast, and I'll just go 2x. Okay. Notice.
Only affected the range.
Only affected the range. So now I have it playing at 100%, and then it goes fast over the sun, and it goes back to 100%. And what's nice about this is that when you click on these speed segments, the selection range automatically is
it's selected as a range.
Right. So, for example, if I selected that now, I can actually change the speed of that segment. I can go in here and I could say 50%, and it only affects that segment.
Yes.
So the range tool is tremendously handy. You could use them for hold frames. If you want to, you could use them for just about any sort of speed effect that you want. You can define the areas that you want, as a hold frame or a fast effect.
Speed up or slow down.
Yeah, exactly. So
Terrific.
Very, very handy. So there you have the various uses of the range selection tool in Final Cut Pro 10.
Editing, audio, effects, retiming. Fantastic. I had no idea how flexible That was very cool.
Yeah, good tool.
Great. So you're interested in this stuff, want to learn more? RippleTraining.com for everything Final Cut Pro 10 and related applications. Facebook, follow us on Facebook, Ripple Training, at Ripple Training on Twitter. And we'll be back next week, so watch our show. And thank you very much for watching MacBreak Studio.